Hi Natalie, thank you very much for meeting me here at the International Winter IP Conference 2025. If you could introduce yourself and then we'll go into the questions, that would be fabulous.
Thank you for the invitation. So my name is Nathalie Dreyfus. I'm a French and European trademark attorney. And also a court-appointed expert in trademark before the French Supreme Court, the Cour de Cassation. And I'm the only one in trademark appointed by the Cour de Cassation. And I'm also a WIPO panelist for domain names. So I founded the Dreyfus Law Firm in 2004 to create a law firm dedicated to intellectual property and new technologies, and a place where expertise and strategy and innovation meet. And so for more than 20 years, I've been supporting clients in France and around the world in all areas of intellectual property, trademark, design, copyrights, patents, domain names, and digital protection. And we also do a lot of transactional work on contract and litigation. So we have like a business-oriented and pragmatic approach. We don't see IP just as a legal discipline. It's a strategic tool that helps company grow, innovate and protect, and who make them unique. So our role in a law firm is turn creativity and innovation into real lasting value. And so at Dreyfus, I'm the founder and managing partner, but I lead a dynamic and agile team that covers every aspect of IP management, from registration and portfolio strategy to enforcement, litigation, and digital protection. So we have developed a strong expertise in internet and emerging technologies, phishing, cyber squatting, NFTs, online marketplaces, Web3 environments. And beyond my day-to-day practice, I also write regularly for leading IP and technology publication. And I also animate the Dreyfus blog. We have a very active blog, so I recommend if you want to visit and to subscribe. So what drives me most in the connection between people, innovation and strategy. And I believe that intellectual property is not only about protecting rights, it's also about empowering business and shaping the future of innovation.
Fantastic, thank you very much. So what do you believe is the biggest challenging thing facing the world of IP at the moment?
Oh, that's a fascinating question. In my view, one of the biggest challenges the world of intellectual property is facing today is the rise of artificial intelligence, and particularly tools like ChatGPT. So, because AI is transforming the way we work, the way our clients think, and even the way IP itself has been defined. So it brings a lot of opportunities, but also serious risks. So we need to understand and manage them carefully. So at first I see there is the question on how clients use AI tools. So more and more clients, they turn to ChatGPT or other systems to get quick answers about trademarks, patents, and procedures, and they may use it to prepare their first research or to double check advice they receive. And well, it's understandable. Access to information has never been so easy. But the issue is that the information is not always accurate and up to date, and even relevant to a specific jurisdiction. So that can really create confusion. So it challenges the perceived value of our expertise, because suddenly clients can access something that looks like legal advice but isn't. And so one of the key challenge for us IP professionals is to reaffirm the value of human expertise, to explain what we bring is not just information, but interpretation, experience, and strategy. So that's the first level of AI. I have There's two others. And the second is the way we as lawyers and IP professionals use these tools ourselves. Because AI can help us in research, drafting, translation, portfolio management. But also it raises serious questions of confidentiality, data protection, professional ethics. So when we use AI, we have to be extremely careful. And so the most important is critical thinking. So because AI can be a powerful assistance, but is not a legal mind. So it can produce errors or subtle misinterpretations, and only experience can detect that. And that's why the human judgment remains irreplaceable. So, and third, what I see is also, and I find it really positive, is AI is also leveled the playing field in many ways. For example, for us, for non-native English speakers, it's a huge advantage because tools like ChatGPT allow professionals from all over the world to write in clear, precise English to prepare opinions, articles, pleadings, and that meets international standards. And that means that a firm like us, I mean, outside of the traditional Anglo-Saxon sphere, can now really compete globally on an equally footing. And so the quality of our ideas, which has always been there, our analysis and our creativity can shine through and without being limited by the language barrier. So it's a great opportunity for diversity in the global IP community. And also, well, there's also for AI, the growing field in the AI-related case law. And this is all over, I mean, the internet, because the courts and the offices are starting to deal with this kind of question. So it's really a challenge and an opportunity for our profession. And it changes really the relationship with clients. So I would say it reshapes also the way we work and redefines also what it means to be an expert.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. So, I mean, you touched on so much there, especially around the AI conversation. What sort of conversations do you think are key to tackling the challenge in industry?
Can you pause?
Over your career in intellectual property, what would you say has most changed in the way that IP is managed globally?
That's a very good question. If I look back over my career, the way intellectual property is managed globally has changed more in the past 2 decades than in the previous 50. When I started working in IP, things were very different. I remember or administrative assistants using carbon paper to type letters on official forms. If there was a typo, then they had to do it all over again. And everything was manual and slow and jurisdiction based. And each country had its own system, so its own procedure, and it was there were little coordination and visibility across borders. So if management was mostly about filing, renewing, defending rights when needed. So it was essentially a legal process, not a strategic one. So I think today it's completely different. So intellectual property has become more, well, digital, global, data-driven, and the rise of online filing systems, searchable databases, and AI-powered monitoring tools has completely changed how we work. So tasks that used to take weeks or months, like even checking for domain name abuse or finding similar trademark across multi jurisdictions, now it can be done in instantly. On the procedures are simpler, or information is more accessible, on case law is at everyone's fingertips. So this digital transformation has freed us from a lot of administrative work, and we can now focus on what really matters while helping clients make strategic decisions about how, where, and why to protect their IP rights. So it's an I would say another huge shift has been the way IP is viewed by within companies. So when I began, IP department were usually part of the legal team operating in isolation. Now it has changed completely because we sit alongside with R&D, marketing, cybersecurity, communication, and even finance. And now intellectual property is really seen as a business assets. So we have moved really from protecting rights to managing assets. And so the companies, they no longer want to file everywhere. What they want is to file smart. So portfolio management today is about coherence, alignment, and impact. And it's about understanding how IP supports the company's long-term goals, not just how many registration it owns. And finally, there's been a real cultural shift because now we work in a global connected community, and IP professionals collaborate in real time across continents, and often using the same tool, the same database, best practices across industries. They are sharing this also. But we still face local difference in enforcement. Overall, there is a strong sense of harmonization on global dialogue. So if I had to sum it up, I would say that IP has evolved from a reactive paper-based legal function to a proactive, strategic, and technology-driven discipline. So it's now really at the heart of every business, and it's shaping not just how innovation is protected, but how it is conceived, financed, and shared around the world.
Absolutely. And what skills do you consider to be essential for the next generation in IP?
Oh, this is a tricky and timely question because the skills needed for the next generation of IP professionals are evolving just as fast as the field of IP itself. So when I started my career, everything was about legal and technical precision, and we had to know the law inside out, trademark, patent, design, procedure. And well, that foundation hasn't changed much, but it's still essential. But today, it's only the starting point. So to really succeed, young professionals, I think, need a much broader skill, technological, strategic, and human. I would say, if I say first strategic thinking, I would say, because tomorrow's IP professional must understand how intellectual property fits into a company's biggest picture. Sorry, whether it's growth, sustainability, or digital transformation. And it's no longer enough to register or defend rights. They have to explain in business terms how IP creates value, how a trademark builds brand equity, how a design supports image, on how a patent portfolio attracts investors. So thinking beyond protection to purpose. That's, I think, what will define the leaders of the futures. And second, I would say technological literacy, because we have intelligence, artificial intelligence, blockchain, data-driven tools. They are not distant trends anymore. They are our daily reality. So professionals who can use them in a clever way, who understand their potential but also their limits, will stand out. I know that doesn't mean that every IP lawyer needs to code, huh? But it does mean being comfortable working with technology and collaborating with engineers and data scientists. So now I would say something that really strikes me when I meet younger professionals is that they have amazing access to information. So, as I told you before, when I began finding case law on procedural updates, it took time. Not anymore, because we find a lot of things online now. And, and this learning curve or searching curve is much faster than so in few years they can reach a level of technical expertise that used to take a decade. And I think that's wonderful, really. But it also comes with a small risk, the feeling of already knowing everything. And that's where experience still matters, on, well, understanding nuance, context, on the human side of decision making. And it's also a question of languages. I talked already about languages, but well, 20 years ago, working internationally required real linguistic efforts. Now, most young professionals are multilingual, and English has become the natural working language of IP. But the challenge isn't just speaking English, it's understanding different cultures, different markets, different business practice, different expectation. So global awareness and cultural intelligence are absolutely key. And then I would say come adaptability and continuous learning. Well, the pace of changing in IP today is breathtaking. New laws, new technology, new clients' expectation. And the professional who will thrive are the ones who stay curious, who keep learning, who aren't afraid to reinvent themselves. And lifelong learning is not optional. It's part of the job anyway, and it has always been. And there's another quality, in my opinion, makes the real difference today. It's client engagement. Well, while all the information and tools are now available, what really sets you apart is how you connect with your clients. Well, understanding their world, being responsive, being proactive. So seeing intellectual property not as an end in itself, but as a tool at the service of the company's strategy. So I would say the best IP professionals just don't advise on rights. They help shape decisions. And of course, we can talk about skills without mentioning how COVID changed the way we work. Because before the pandemic, everyone was face to face, and then suddenly it was all online. And now we live in a quite hybrid world, half virtual, half in person. And so video meetings have made us more agile and competitive. And they've allowed smaller firms and boutique law firms like ours or independent professionals to be as present and reactive as the big ones. But at the same time, in-person meetings still have something unique. A handshake, eye contact, reading body language. So those human elements will trust in a way that technology can't fully replace. So the professionals of tomorrow will need to master both worlds, efficiency of digital communication, but also the emotional intelligence of personal interaction. So I would say, if I would just summarize for the next gen, the next generation of IP will need to be more than lawyers. They will be strategists, technologists, communicators, and diplomats all at once. And they will have the combined precisions with creativity, logic with empathy, and legal knowledge with real business insight. And if they can do that, if they can see intellectual property not just as a field of law, but as a living ecosystem of innovation, then the future of our profession will be in very good hands.
Thank you very much. And finally, since we're here today, what is your favourite thing about the Winter IP Conference?
Oh, I really appreciate the Winter IP Conference. What I really appreciate is the great energy in the room. Well, from the very first session, we can feel how vibrant and dynamic the community is. It's not just about listening to the speakers, it's also about meeting people who truly care about intellectual property from different parts of the world. And this particular edition is really impressive. I said it because it brings together leading professionals from law firms, global companies, tech innovators, institutions, and all here to share ideas and learn from each other. So what I really like and what is really unique in this conference is the balance between intellectual depth and human connection. And so the panel is interactive, the roundtables are practical, and the conversation are very open. So everyone feels comfortable sharing their views, on asking questions, on building real connection. So it's really inspiring, and I love also how wide the topics are and how much we can learn, because just in a few days we go from patent to trademarks, from branding to enforcement, on AI and licensing and finance. So it's a complete picture of IP, legal, strategic, technology, all in one place. And and this is really what we also share in my law firm at Dreyfus, because this spirit feels very close to who we are. And we always believe that intellectual property is not only about protection, it's about innovation and connection. And we also work with law, technology, and strategy, and help clients turn ideas into valuable assets. So being here at the Winter IP Conference feels like a natural extension of our vision, and it's a place to learn from others, to share our experience, and to contribute to a broader conversation about the future of IP. And honestly, after this edition, I will definitely come back and attend the others in the future.